Today I'm going to be talking about probably the coolest piece of gear that I have. I think so anyways, the Gerber Downrange Tomahawk. So the Gerber Downrange Tomahawk is another thing that was sent to me from Optics Planet through my partnership with them. So I mentioned that in another video, but I'll just mention it here real quick. I became a brand ambassador for Optics Planet. So basically, any kind of gear that they sell that's within like my budget. I'm like, you know, the lowest level brand ambassador, I think, because I don't have that many subscribers. But they send me stuff that I request mostly. So if there's a product that I'm interested in, I can reach out to them and say, hey, would you be willing to send me such and such? I'd like to do a video review on it. So this is one of those products, and I'll put some links down below in the description if you want to pick this up. They give me a coupon code as well, so that's all down there. But this, I've had it for, I think, a little over a month now. I've just been beating the crap out of it. I'm doing a bathroom remodel right now as we speak. Actually, I just took a quick break from it to film this video. So it consists of demoing my entire bathroom. So I'm just ripping it apart with this. I'm trying to use this as much as possible, just beat it up. So obviously handles drywall like a champ. Been using it to pry and stuff. I don't use it all the time because I have other tools that are really better designed for the kind of work I do. But just to beat it up, just to kind of test it out, see how durable it is. I've been using it a lot. Probably been using it more than anybody else that owns this tool because it's a pretty expensive tool to just be beaten up like that on like a bathroom remodel. But I wanted to give you guys a thorough review on it, kind of my thoughts and opinions and if it's worth the money. All right, so this is it, the Gerber Downrange Tomahawk. I've had it for about a month-ish now, maybe, I'm not sure. But I've beaten it up. I've thrown it at trees, broken through cinder blocks, hacked through drywall, ripped up pallets and walls, chopped through ceramic tiles. I've done pretty much everything you could do with this tool. I've seen a lot of videos and reviews and stuff of this, and nobody's actually reviewed it. It looks like nobody's actually even used it. They all look like they're pristine. And that's probably because it's a pretty expensive tool to just be beating up. So I figured I would beat mine up just so you guys know that it can handle it. Like I mentioned earlier, this was given to me by Optics Planet. It's something that I've always wanted, just never really pulled the trigger on because I have so many other axes. I'm kind of a nerd like that. I just have axes on tomahawks and all kinds of stuff. So there's never really a reason for me to get it other than I thought it was super, super cool. And I always wanted it, but never got it. But here it is, and now I have it. So I'm just gonna go through kind of some of the features, talk about how I've used and abused it, and maybe answer some questions that you might have about it probably in the comments. So this is, I think, around $200 now. MSRP I think is over $300, which is pretty crazy for a Tomahawk. You can get a lot of kind of similar ones for quite a bit cheaper. But this thing is great quality. So it's 420 high carbon steel, full tang, and it has G10 handles on it that are pretty thick. And honestly, I thought when I would start throwing this thing that these handles would just break off. I've thrown quite a few SOG Tomahawks in the past, and those things kind of just fall apart. Maybe the newer ones are better. I haven't done it in a long time. But I kind of just assumed I would throw this at a tree, miss a few times, and the handles would just break off. I knew that the rest of the tool would stay intact. But no such luck. The handles have stayed put, and they're G10, so they're super durable, and they've taken abuse and have come out fine. So let's get into it here. So it has a blade on the front. Obviously, it's a Tomahawk. Though, unlike other Tomahawks, this one didn't come sharpened at all. It was completely dull. I'm talking like way duller than a butter knife. Like there's no way I could cut anything with it. And that's by design. It's technically a breaching device, so it's sharp enough to hack through drywall, maybe a door or something, but you're not going to be using it to split any stumps or you know, get kindling or anything like that. So I kind of wanted to use it more like an axe, more like an all-purpose tool, not necessarily just a breaching device. So I spent a while sharpening this thing up on a grinding wheel and then with a little puck sharpener. So mine was sharpened. It's not really probably as sharp anymore because I've just been beating tile and cinder blocks and everything with it. It retains an edge okay, 420 high carbon steel, so it's decent. But yeah, the blade is super dull, but you can sharpen it and then it works better. It has a hammer, so let's try and get some focus on here if I can, or is it? I can't tell. But we have a hammer here, and it's pretty narrow, and it's kind of knurled on the end, and it works surprisingly well. So if you can swing a hammer all right, you'll be able to hit stuff with it. Am I going to use it to replace my actual hammer for doing actual hammer things? No. But if you're out camping or you need to use it to breach anything, works great. Holds up. I have hammered nails, I've hammered rocks, I've hammered bricks, I've hammered tile, no problem. And then the other thing that it has is a pry bar at the end. So it has a little bit of an angle on here, and it works okay. It doesn't work as well as something like a dedicated like Wonder Bar type thing. So this is just much better at actually prying. So if you have some prying to do that you're gonna be doing a lot of, then get one of these for like, you know, 10 or 20 bucks. But if you want an all-in-one tool, this thing does have a pry bar and it does work, you know, decently well. I've wedged this up under some pallets, jumped on it, put my whole weight on it to pry stuff up, and the handle's still straight. Well, straight where it needs to be and bent where it needs to be. So it's held up pretty well. So that's basically the tool. It's just shy of 20 inches in length and just under 2 pounds in weight without the sheath. So yeah, the handles are pretty grippy, pretty good, but a little sharp. So if you're going to be chopping a lot of wood with this, then you might want to wear some gloves or maybe just have calloused man hands and you'll be all right. But a little bit sharp, but good for grip, obviously. So probably not something that's designed for super extended use, which is why they're so sharp. But that's just something to note. In here is a handle. So this is to carry the tool or to pry with. So you can get it under here and then use this end to pry it with. And that works fine. And the design of the sheath is actually really great. So I'll get it in here for you real quick. So this snaps closed. So the sheath, the nice thing is that it allows you to grab it still. So if you're just using the pry bar and you don't want to cut yourself or anything, if you've sharpened this, then leave it in the sheath, obviously, and you can still use the tool like it's designed. You can also still use the hammer while it's in the sheath. So that's a nice little addition when it's sheathed up. Sorry, this wasn't all the way down. My tool is so grimy and covered in drywall dust that this doesn't slide on and off as easy anymore. But nice fit and nicely designed sheath. A lot of axes have sheaths that come off this way out the bottom over the handle, and that's kind of a pain in the butt. So I like the design of the Downrange Tomahawk where it comes out the top. So you can just pull that out and you're good to go. So the sheath is pretty good, and it also has a Molle Compatible rest of the sheath. So goes in here. This covers your pry bar and holds it in place. And then, as you expect, these snap on like so. And then you can attach this to whatever Molle webbing that you have. So it's a nice little sheath. I haven't really attached it to anything, but if I was going to be using this on like a bug out bag or get home bag or something like that, which this would be a great tool for, really, for my subscribers, for you guys, probably that's what you would be looking at this tool for, to attach it to your bug out bag or get home bag, whatever. And for that urban kind of setting, it would be a great, great, great tool. So yeah, that's it. Oh, it's Cerakoted, but mine's pretty beat up. Maybe I'll wipe it off and we can see like how much damage actually is under all this white stuff. But my guess is that you and nobody else will ever abuse the tool quite as much. My dog just knocked down my light. Anyways, I'm not sure what kind of questions you guys have, so feel free to ask them below. Again, I'll put the links down below if you'd like to purchase this. Again, you know, if you pick up stuff from Optics Planet, use my code. That helps a lot. I don't make any money off of it. However, Optics Planet says, hey, maybe this guy's actually valuable and we can send him more stuff. And more stuff means more videos for you guys. So that's it. Oh yeah, and I've probably been showing clips of me throwing this thing. That's kind of one thing I wondered. I couldn't find anywhere. Can you throw this thing? How's it throw? How well does it throw? It throws great. And throwing, is it practical? Am I going to use it for a self-defense weapon by throwing it at somebody? Probably not. Could I? Yeah, I probably could, and it would do some damage. But it throws surprisingly well. I hadn't thrown anything. I used to throw like K-bar knives in college and stuff, but I hadn't thrown anything in a while. And went out camping the other day when I first got it and threw it into a tree. And it took a few minutes to get the hang of it, but then once I got it, I got it pretty good, you know, a pretty good ratio of success. So the cool thing is you can throw it and it'll stick in the blade end, obviously, but also it'll stick in the pry bar end as well. It's sharp enough to just stick right in there. So pretty fun for throwing, doesn't get beat up too bad. And pretty great for everything. So if you're looking for like a little bug out bag axe or a little camping axe, then this would be a great option. So yeah, guys, hope this video helped. And if you were like me and wanted some real world testing of this little tomahawk to see if it can stand up to the use and abuse that you might throw at it and couldn't find anything out there on it, hope this video helped. As always, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for the comments, and thank you for the likes. It all means a lot. And until next time.